How are we doing, folks? So, just diving into the screen here, and I wanted to share something on protein that a lot of people don't pay enough attention to. Now, I know the recent research has shown that the thermic effect of protein isn't as high as we had thought, but it is still higher compared to other foods. Now, in a desi household, when it comes to protein, it is in abundance, unless you're obviously a vegetarian. When you're trying to set up your nutrition and you're trying to lose body fat, the number one nutrient food group rather that we get our clients to focus on is some sort of protein, just simply because it's got the thermic effect. It's going to keep you feeling fuller for longer, and if your goal is toning and exercising, etc., you got to make sure you're getting in enough protein throughout the day. Now, a chicken salad is not going to cut it. One fried egg in the morning is not going to cut it. Okay, take your time working and building to increase your protein intake, and I promise you it's going to be something that will be hard at first, but you'll get used to it, especially when you start to exercise. Now, thermic effect of food is essentially your body temperature heating up, right? You'll know this yourself when you've had a high calorie meal that has a lot of protein in it, and you'll feel quite warm. You might even sweat a little bit as well in the process, and that's basically thermogenesis in play. Unfortunately, you get idiots out there who are selling thermogenic pills and telling you to wear these sweat belts, etc., etc. No, if you can have 2 to 3, ideally 3 or 4 solid protein feedings in a day with lots of fiber, you are going to be burning calories throughout the day without realizing it. And that sort of throws people off, because when you tell them you can burn calories eating foods, it kind of confuses them. But basically, when you eat any food, your body needs to obviously work to process it. Obviously, that's what our digestion does. But protein and fibrous foods, some fibrous foods actually need to work infinitely harder to break them down, which is what the thermic effect of food really is. So compared to other sources, protein is the highest. Okay, that's really just the way to think about it. Okay, so whenever you're setting up your nutrition or your diet, you want to make sure there is a protein source first and foremost, and then you build everything else around it. Okay, so nice and easy. As far as protein sources go, you can pick your favorite ones, really. There's no real magic ones, but ideally, if you are a meat eater, then you want to get, a fair amount of your protein from meat sources, and you can rotate to non-meat sources as well throughout the day. Absolutely. Okay. If anyone wants this, I'll be more than happy to put this in the description. The link will be below. I can pop that in there because this is what we have used with clients. Obviously, we work with South Asian women for the most part. So when we are looking to set up someone's nutrition, we want to understand where they are at the moment before we then give them a plan to follow. So if they are already getting in enough protein, or they're getting protein rather in already, then we will just get them to increase that already without switching things up for them. Okay, and what they'll notice is if they are having an egg for breakfast, or some tuna for lunch, for example, or some tandoori chicken or chicken pilau or whatever it is for dinner time, or even a chicken salad, I'll just say to them, okay, keep those foods in there, maybe reduce oil intake a little bit, maybe have one biscuit less with your tea, but the protein that you're having, increase that. And as a result of that, they'll feel fuller for longer, they don't have the cravings naturally, and then when it comes to their exercise, recovery is not much of an issue as well. Okay, so it's a wee graph here to show you that protein is actually quite high on the effect of thermogenesis, so 20 to 30% compared to 5 to 10 or 3% in fats. Okay, so what we're looking at is your chicken sources, chicken in your salads predominantly. Red meats also count, although you want to kind of opt for the leaner sources. So I know mutton and lamb, they're more common ones, but if you can get like a good quality beef, ground beef is phenomenal as well. Eggs, classic. Some dairy products, particularly low-fat Greek yogurt. And cottage cheese as well. Cottage cheese is brilliant. I absolutely love it. Some dal as well, some pulses, kidney beans, all sorts of pulses. You're good to go as well. If you can get them in throughout the day, then you are going to be off to an absolute head start when it comes to your weight loss. Protein supplements are great as well. If you want to have a whey protein powder, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a pre-existing kidney condition and you've been advised to reduce your protein intake, then yes, your doctor will have told you that. Protein comes from the cheese making process. I know there's a lot of nonsense around that, so I would just ignore the noise. So protein supplements, great way for you to bump up your protein. You can have it in the morning or whenever is really convenient for you, to be honest. But what we find is for most of our clients who are busy and on the go, they typically tend to have it in the morning when they're kind of running out of the house, or maybe before or after their workouts. Those are the times most people generally don't have much of an appetite. Okay, so we've got some ideas there which we're more than happy to send over to you. I thought I'd share this with you because at the end of the day, we get told on Instagram and social media, increase your TikTok. Increase your protein. Increase your protein because it's good for you, it's good for weight loss. But when you know exactly how it works for you and the impact it has, it just kind of makes things a little bit easier for you so that you can make better choices. I'm always of the opinion that when we're working with people, we want them to know why they are doing what they're doing rather than just force feeding them something and telling them to go ahead and do it. Okay, so I'll leave this below. Any questions about that, you can check out the Instagram page. Just go on over to Instagram and just type in ZA Training, or on the website, which I'll put all the information below. But I thought for South Asian people in particular, we have a very hard time getting our protein in. Despite what you might think, we think, okay, we have our salads, there's protein in there. No, probably nowhere near enough because we like our carbs. So do I, of course. So we need to start leaning more towards high protein foods if the goal is weight loss. Okay, folks. So hopefully you found that helpful, and I will endeavor to do more videos like this. So if you found any value in this, I will be putting more long form content on the YouTube channel. So do consider subscribing if you want to keep up to date with future content.